Hey, we're back again.
Haha, it was a very short break indeed.
Yeah, it's obviously when you're working in a broadcast where a lot of it is driven by the Korean team. We're sort of like with a latch on, with a little latch on. We grab on and we hold on. We got to play to whatever we can get from them, and we're here when we're here.
Very well said. Bravo to be removed. I'm going to see any hacked yokai drones this time around. Not that it was super impactful, but we definitely saw like a lot of good use on different kinds of utility from the Bravo. Taking out default cams and removing Valkyrie. It's going to be even less information on the board to be played with here for both these teams. So, will hurt DPLUS in the very early start of this game as they are off on the defense. Fenrir to be removed as well. Again, 2 of those powerful defensive operators out of 4.
Alright, Chalet. Let's see what you got for us. I know I'm standing by Sandbox, but it doesn't mean I'm entirely... What's the way of phrasing this? What's the way of phrasing this? I believe in Sandbox from the start of the day.
Tells you
but
Sandbox.
Currently, DPLUS are playing like this is going to be their series.
Okay. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Not that I believed in Sandbox at the
Well,
start
you
of the
predicted DPLUS at the start of this. I didn't.
I did. Yeah.
Because we like to do different.
So
I did my predictions first, so I
statement.
can't even be like, I did it to be different. I was the first in with my prediction.
You said we couldn't copy, so
couldn't
I
copy.
copied your do not copy.
Yeah.
So Anne was basically
And
forced
I
into what was
might
left.
get both of them wrong. So it just shows
Yeah.
how nice I am by saying, don't copy my predictions.
Just saving us.
I won the predictions in the Paris studio like 2 years running.
I've won the CGG predictions
I've also won CGG
twice.
prediction. I have the t-shirt.
Wait, you got a t-shirt for that?
Oh no, CGG no.
That was Project Prisma.
Yeah,
I've
that
also
was
won that
Project
one.
Prisma.
Yeah. I also got a t-shirt for that.
We know so much, and what we might
Thanks so much.
just know a lot about Siege. Sandbox. Starting on the attack here, and Starp is trying to find a place that he's comfortable leaving that claw in, baiting out maybe the motion of it. As you can see that, well, that quick to get the pressure around the site itself. I still want that momentum. I want to see a little bit more panache on the aggression that they can lead themselves in. That boogie, I'm not entirely sure what that was. They threw it outside, maybe just to make a lot of noise, but the only noise being made is Yas getting one, and they're inside the site, and suddenly things are back and forth. But Harper stops the run before it turns into a terrifying incident. There's Arakaze on the back end, though, swings his way around box as Demic's able to get one of his own. I'm still a bit confused about the boogie I saw thrown by Demic on the far side, but hey, apparently if it's part of the plan, it's worked. 3-2, and they have a bit of control of the site. Arakaze with one more. They want to know where the last player is. It's Woogieman, and he is off in Narnia currently.
Yeah, but he's going to go on that big roam, and currently not covering for him. He has the opportunity to come in big and stop this plant from happening, especially after they just restarted it again and again and again. He spots the player in the corner, but he gets fired himself. Demic finds the kill eventually, and what was a bit of a rush attempt from Sandbox under the distraction of a boogie, they managed to find success. Maybe that was the plan. They just toss a boogie that doesn't really do anything. The entire DK starts laughing about that boogie, and then suddenly they're into the site and kill everybody. Who knows? Might be some 500, 600 IQ plays here that we're seeing from Sandbox. But a great first round. They managed to put the pressure on, eventually come out on top. That forces DK to continue their rotation as they head towards bar and gaming next.
It was so sudden. It was a little bit confusing. I'm still thinking about that boogie. But it was sudden, and it was a very good bite in. They made sure that there was motion behind it. Yas obviously able to get one and just sort of stem some of the blood and stem some of the bleeding. If it wasn't for Arakaze, they were
10 seconds to go.
sort of up the creek without a paddle. They didn't have
5 seconds left
players
before
inside the
insertion.
site apart from that one single player on the back in the bedroom that was winning that engagement in the
Attackers are
box.
heading out
You
to the
were
diffuse
far
bomb.
away from the push.
That was a good read by Sandbox. They managed to instantly start off with a bit of a bang. Just something they can use. They need to show here on Chalet that they are deserving of making it to that second phase right away. There's a lot of extra SI points to be going with that as well, which will enforce your position of potentially, well, probably qualifying, we have to say. I think both these teams will be fine, given their previous attendance of the major. Oh, Boogeyman takes a lot of damage here. It's like they cannot catch a break on the DK side of things. No matter where they stand, they're being just picked apart.
And yeah, it puts them in a good position because obviously if, you know, Sandbox win this out, then both of them are pretty much trading the most possible points they can get domestically. If DPLUS win it, they will be taking the most sort of domestic points as well, based on the performance that they had getting to the major last time. It's trade of hands on it, but it's not entirely locked in. Look at all those flashes. Popped around, Coated's happy to sit inside the smoke itself as Good Boy's inside the site. He's looking the wrong way for a fight. It's close to his left, and oh, Yas wins out one, and Soldier just wins out that other fight itself. It's an important one. Soldiers. And now, well, here's another Boogie going off and doing its own thing. Demic's about to find the engagement, sees the back of the player, gets the front of them too, but there's a quick pick back up from Woogieman.
Good traits to come through from DK here. Still a bit questionable how Good Boy managed to make it to the site that far, and fortunately for him was unable to confirm that kill. That could have really been round changing. Harper now. Waiting on the blue stairs is afraid someone might still be trying to take control of the library, which indeed is the case. Now they're trying to fire some shots through, but Soldier gets taken down. There's now an opportunity to go for a plant. Just Nova, you have the diffuser. You need the one that is going to be digging through. Wait for your teammates to provide you some cover, but considering it's only up to Mephi now, I feel like they might not really are that comfortable in actually trying to get that plant down. Nova, you were so close to be picking up a kill on your right-hand side. Please check the corner as Mephi almost goes down.
The reason they've moved where they were planting was they didn't have the vertical. And they knew that it would just take a single player on that hatch to get the kill. There's the motion over the top. They've got the read that they're not going to go for the plant where it is. And they have the cover elsewhere as well. Very well played there by DPLUS Kia. As soon as they got the sort of idea of we've lost the site, we've lost this bit, let's pull back, let's go for a retake. All three of them sort of got themselves towards the corridor, got themselves by the vines, and from that point onwards it just took a waiting game there. One apiece. We're back to how it was at the very start of this showdown between the pair of them, and trading rounds.
Right, up to the second floor we go again, and just to come back onto 6 Invitational, of course. It sounds kind of weird, but I believe we might be able to confirm one of the teams for SI today. I think whoever wins... Now, if DPLUS win, they should be ending up with as many points as W7M has currently. Which I believe means that they are qualified.
I believe so too.
Because W7M is qualified.
Yes, they are.
Now, the thing is about these regions, right? Like, if you swap out these teams, you're going to be limiting your own, especially if you have, like, disappointing performances at the major, you don't quite make it all the way through, limiting your opportunity of actually making it to SI. And I think that if we look at MENA, for example, Falcons is currently not in that first place. They're currently not really in play for a major spot. So, like, they could be losing out after their, like, wonderful performance that we saw at the Copenhagen major, because they missed out on their own stage. Now, Zembots. Yeah, good attempt there, but unfortunately unable to connect. Boogeyman will find Mephi. I believe Yas just got tagged up there, trying to rotate around once the door was being shut open. You saw a bit of confusion there in the Sandbox player as well. It's like, oh, someone just ran by. Small tag. But Mephi being taken out is a more hurtful factor here. The side of Sandbox. You just lost your Thatcher, making it harder to go for certain breaches. Not that there is, like, anything stopping it. There's no Mew Gemmers, there's no Bandit, there's no Cade either. The Thatcher, you can do without.
The pepper of the fire. Player back, that's sitting in the corner of the stairs, but without a grenade, they're not going to entirely move their way out. Harper safe, but only sort of just. He cannot go too wide on that take either. He's really playing this as a bit of a suicide spot here. And there are other players not too far away, but that is the purpose. Eat up as much utility as possible. There's the flashes. You assume a grenade will follow. He runs up to try and get somewhere else on it, but they don't actually get the grenade. What they do get is Yas rotated around into the opposite corner, took the moment. They didn't have it covered. And even with all the swings, I mean, a tragedy has unfolded. He then rebuilt the window, and for all the utility they've thrown at those windows, all they've got is nothing in their pockets apart from the corpses of their friends to show for it.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
Good reference. But as you know, they went for it. The actual smoke was down there on the side. That's where Yas moved through. They did not expect that. We often say smokes aren't walls, but usually defenders do not try and push through it unless you're in a situation like that. Yas just taking the opportunity, finding success on the back of it. And Sandbox trying to push through windows, push through doorways instead, not having a foot inside the building. And DK, all they're doing is just going to be holding off for as long as they possibly can. Nova drops. Demic, good boy. Last two men standing on the side of Sandbox out here, and as they're looking to make their way through, almost being caught by the frost trap out there, but they don't live much longer afterwards. Yas and Soldier will find a kill each. And DK to find themselves at another round.
2 rounds in a row. They've been able to tie themselves up here. They've gone back to back a bit, and you know, they're still seeming as active, as terrifying. It's exactly what I sort of highlighted before, is the way that these two teams set up has similarities. They sort of state their intentions via their utility, via their drone game, via their push, with a lot more noise than other teams do. And they're happy to back it up with fantastic gun skill, but the way that DPLUS Kia move in is, especially Yas there, they just step towards the fire. They step towards these engagements. They go, well, you want to get ready, we're ready too. And that's where, for me, Sandbox aren't quite getting the same energy on their defenses. They're sort of letting things hit against them and letting fate be their driver, whereas DPLUS are making their own fate at this moment in time.
10 seconds left before insertion.
What a difference indeed.
5 seconds to go.
Checking over on the right-hand side. Not really any
Attackers are
heart
heading out
reach.
to defuse a bomb.
We do have the sensor, we do have the glass. So there is going to be some sort of play with that, but I'm just trying to figure out what exactly they're trying to go for here.
I am deploying a drone.
My feed is dropping, I'm not sure if I'm the only one.
I'm okay. I'll take over.
Okay.
2 to 1. Getting themselves droned in for what is the tertiary site here, and getting the read onto the kitchen take. The man with the special glasses could be a big factor against what is often the sense wall plant. The idea of rolling that in. Got to see if they can try and cut him out, but it's actually motion on the back end. They're going for the quick dip dive all the way around towards Solarium. Shot in the back. You've got Demic inside of smoke trying to find the spray through. It's coded on the far back end. Gets a great take onto the first player, and you can see the rotation of soldiers cut off by Arakaze on the far end. Demic cannot get the connection with the player behind the counter. 4 versus 3 with a lot of damage done. This is what we talked about in the first round. We had that success of Sandbox. They went for the quick sort of break and breach. The fact that they were able to win out important engagements on the back end was the tell here, so it's down to Nova. See if he can get it either side, but they're not able to slip in.
He's getting peppered out there, like he's trying to take a fight and suddenly like another person pops up and another person comes in from below and just not given any free or fair fights rather. It's Mephi with a great take but instantly punished afterwards, and Nova now in a 1v3. Oh yeah, has a diffuser. That's something for his efforts there, and he's using the glass is slightly cracked. It's gonna be hard to see for the defenders, but I'm looking for any fights right now. They're waiting for him to push through. Nova is the one that needs to make the next move, and the defenders should be ready for this. Sandbox is going to be able to get one before Yas shuts down Nova. DK find yet another round.
It's looking a little bit D+ right now, and you got to wonder when Sandbox can maybe take the time out and study some of the mathematical symbols. Minus would be good to try and tip away at their balance and their lead, but they're not going to take that conversation just yet. They're on the attack on Chalet. I kind of expect at least a 3-3. One more round slips away, and I think DPLUS are in a very good place to push this towards the end.
DPLUS definitely have themselves in a good opportunity here, so they just need to keep this pace up. Like, they're not receiving too much pressure, and whenever the pressure comes, they're ready for it.
I verified the SI points thing with Sprabuni.
Okay, yeah.
He is confirmed.
Dial.
If DPLUS win this, they will be the second team confirmed for SI.
There you go. See, my quick maths checked out there.
Quick math.
10 seconds to insertion.
I double-checked your quick maths with longer math.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, Sprabuni is the long maths person.
Sprabuni
so
is long maths.
He's always
There
like
was once-
100% certain.
There was a major where Sprabuni and Raph showed me their algorithms, and I walked out the room.
When they just started out, like, I asked them lots of questions. Sprabuni used to have like the Twitter bio called Haps Minion because I would usually just use all that.
Nice.
Like, he actually showed me once as well. I was like, oh my god, there's so many lines. It's like, yeah, it's just 50,000 checks on what can happen. It's like, what, 50,000? It's like, yeah, something like that. Might have been 100,000. I'm not quite sure, but
Ooh. He's even given me a follow-up little fun fact.
oh, yeah.
It could also
took
be
his
that
Sprabuni jingle.
scars are also confirmed.
Really, based on this outcome.
I don't know if it's based on this outcome. He says it's quite tricky to work out SI at the minute with all the numbers. This one's more direct, so it's easier. And if Sprabuni says it's tricky, I fully get that it's tricky.
Because Scars is on 455.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're 10 below the qualifying threshold, but the more points are being given out, the less points can be gained by others, which means that that threshold will lower.
Exactly. So, Coated, what can you do here? It's a bit of a spicy corner. They're holding on best that they can. There was, on this site before, quick attempts at breaks that were shot back down. The Gun 6 pop over the cover, the mirror window to get even their own. There isn't a sandbox player paying them too much attention. Remember that there was this sort of sneaky creep of Good Boy. Up the fireplace stairs into the site. They've opted to not go for a similar approach.
You know what the backslash is supposed to mean. A little bit mistime. Nova's getting some good spots out though on the mirror. Mirror window knows that there's going to be someone behind it. It's not their main issue now. They need to find these roamers. This Good Boy got himself stuck in a goo mine. They're definitely trying to see if they can take that dining under control. But yes, it's the wild card here for DK. If he pops up unseen, you go for a huge flank as Arakazi takes down Coda. They know where he is right now. They've seen him on that drone. They've heard the call. They need to go for a push now. But the goo mine out there might be saving grace for Yas. Oh, he thinks he hasn't been spotted.
He thinks he hasn't been spotted. He's made a bit of noise. I mean, he has been. You just hope Sandbox is still aware. They've actually taken this time to put pressure onto the site. They're going to go for the plant. They sort of went, well, Yas is really far away. We can take this one. There's cover the Capital bolt. You hear popping the smoke post-plant. The first time. As the cover comes across here, they have the two-body advantage. There's the long watch from Arakaze. There's almost the second. Harper actually gets away a little more scot-free than that.
Window's now going to be in hand of the opponents, but still finds a single kill behind it. Second pop-up is too much, though. Boogeyman is going to be shot at from the back. He's stuck in his corner. There's no way he's escaping that one alive. Maffey finds that final kill. Sandbox with another great round. Really realized that the members of DK were too far removed from the actual site. Decided to just take it. Like, I mean, sometimes you just have to gamble it right. Like, you know, there's two on site. There's one behind the mirror window. Just have to take the gamble that you are better than them at that moment when you have the initiative. And worked out for them. Find themselves their second round on the attack. Now we're headed towards the last of this first half. If they manage to make this a 3-3 split, this game is suddenly like all open again on who wins it.
Sandbox, I said you wanted the 3-3 half. I said you needed that, and you know, the second half of the game, the pressure that DPLUS has been able to put on their attacks is something that you have to be cautious of. You have to have fair sort of amount paid towards the pain that can be slapped upon you.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Otherwise, you don't want to find yourself in an advantage once again and have it be taken away. I mean, the 5-2 advantage to an 8-7 overtime. Not great.
To insertion.
5-2 advantage to a 6-5 loss. Even worse.
5 seconds
7-5.
to insertion. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
DK, one more round before the swap. Let's make the most out of it. Sandbox. Was looking to do the exact same. And they get busy with opening everything up. You know, they've seen something that worked on the previous site. Try and maybe see if that works on this one as well. I mean, they try to go for a rush, which did work out. It's unlikely like they're going to be attempting that again, because surely DK's got to be ready for it.
Nothing tucked into the stairs that they can get a clean eye on. Obviously, that was a big punish, as I said. The tuck in on the corner. Maybe he's going to feel a little bit more confident breaking the wall open and actually going for the swing first. He's suddenly tucked up against it, and now he's tucked inside the site. The fight swings onto box. Mephi's able to win it out. Nova, you have the kit. You don't have to keep going, my friend, but it's a 4 versus 4. Oh, he's a bit lost for the engagement, and now the kit's just isolated.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Like, you had control of that first part of the map, and now the rest of your team is in a man disadvantage, having to try and retake that ground. Like, you might have been afraid of someone down below, but surely there was going to be a safe place to plant. Surely someone was going to be there to have your cover. And this round, like, it started off great, finding Coda. Now kind of went south. Good Boy has a spot on a player. Knows where one of them is. Maybe Arkazi to rotate around and join Demic to see if they can hunt him together. Gemini Replicator will confirm it's on the other side of the wall. Soldier keeps on rotating around and around and around as he gets the kill eventually.
Great play, great take by Soldier there. The confidence to go for that swing. I mean, you could not have the kit in a more behind enemy lines place right now. It really is almost capture the flag at this point. You're breaking into their base to steal your own thing back. Demic uses that audio to cover some of his approach, but that's going to get him caught out. There's the break of the Kiba barricade right next to his army. That's being watched actually slightly further on. Harper takes a lot of damage. Demic does get the end of Soldier. Demic suddenly gets a second, and they've been able to fight their way back in, but downed and knocked out by Yas. And that is the sign of a pause.
Hey. Okay, let's throw to a quick break.
No. I didn't even know. I didn't even have. Please verify. I didn't know that was going to happen.
I know you didn't know that. You didn't know that.
We just
had our producer who actually said he wanted to become a VTuber producer after we had
Yeah.
that talk.
But I don't understand what a VTuber producer is because no one sees the producer.
Yeah, we don't have a producer cam, so it's like kind of useless, is it?
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All right, we're back in. We've lost our mind. We're back here. DPLUS Kia. What does 3 rounds separate them from? Well, I'll tells you, will I? First place. Bow. The next stage in the major, stage 2. Bow. And also, the most SI points currently out of anyone that guarantees them a place at SI 2024 next year, February. Bow, bow, bow. The second team, to be confirmed
10 seconds to go.
at this point, could be in 3 rounds' time.
5 seconds to go.
I'm gonna be using my Discord air horn.
Why do you
Cannot
have
hear it.
that?
Shortcast.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
You shouldn't be trusted with that.
It's not on the stream. It's just for you.
Oh. Oh, okay. It's almost worse that it isn't for the stream.
Yeah, it would have been funny. Like SI qualification.
It would be cool.
Alright, back to the game, man.
Back to the game.
Enough shenanigans.
Alright, let's see what they can try and piece together here. Sandbox Gaming, what I sort of said about their defense was I wanted to see them lead into the approach. Maybe they will, after the long timeouts that we've had. We've really had a big drive from DPLUS Kia in terms of snappy gunplay, in terms of just getting themselves thrown in and getting those heads locked in. It's some of the best shooting I've seen them do against a sort of fellow, high-end competitor in a long time. We know what they're capable of. And it's great to see it happen again because it has felt at times like it's been a long time to have the roster firing in on all the lines. Woogie Man just getting the read on this player who is for now unaware They're not easy to get out of that position, especially as there's one above the window, above trophy window. So there's still a lot of work before they just throw themselves in. And that's what Yas is trying to do there. Force Good Boy away. Or force Good Boy's protection away. Just for this to come through. Coated. Tears them out. Gets a second! How he pulled that against Demic, I cannot tell you, but I know he's after more.
Well, that's a way to open up. Now, a little bit of damage done to Nova. By Nova, sorry. Go to rotates through. He still has a lot of verticality left to be made here. If you use the skeleton keys, Mephi's trying to go for the chase. All you need is a single bullet, but you don't know that, of course. Dakota continues being a nuisance downstairs.
Bomb located by attackers.
That really just put up, like, a lot of ground into the hands of DK, though.
This is what I mean. When they're getting in and getting these fights and being these driving forces towards just removing people's heads. Unbelievable. Sort of hopping in the double pick up here, and Coded's trying to put the pressure in from underneath, trying to get the carve on anyone that might be in that location. 50 seconds in the 5 versus 3. They're starting to move in. 5 versus 2. As Woogieman gets Nova, but look at the spread of the players. They're on double window. They're putting their pressure across. This is a much more rounded take than what we've seen from Sandbox's attempts here on the top of Chalet. Yes! Pops the header 2 more. And what a round from DPLUS to get us back into this.
Definitely very explosive. A statement round to start off your half with. Now 2 more rounds away from qualifying to the 6th Invitational and to the 2nd stage of the Atlanta Major. The stakes are high.
Attackers need to
And
locate
DK currently is in a better form for this map than Sandbox is.
I mean, how do you come back from that, really? This is sort of the first time we've seen DPLUS Gear have a big lead in one of the games. This is the first time that we've seen Sandbox be this sort of slow in the dumps, this far further removed from the back and forth of the engagement. It was so well played from DPLUS Kia. You know, you can see the idea of the drones getting the catch on that hop in, and I said you could get the outline of the player above the stair set, watching down towards trophy window. They forced them out and then threw themselves into the engagement.
attackers are
It was
heading
just
out to the
perfectly
bomb.
read. And then the second shot, I mean, that was just
Filth.
highlight reel. And he's
Like,
had a highlight
as
reel
well-
day. Coated.
Definitely has. And it's a difficult shot to make when you're jumping through a window. You're very limited in your movement. Oh, look at that. The utility taken out by Yasser. Not the EDDs, I believe, so they're going to be still out there. The opening already being made inside of the snowmobile garage. They managed to also secure the staircase right next to it. It's definitely going to be a lot of pressure coming towards the side. Coded will find Mephi, who's looking to go for a bit of a run out. Dealt like a single bullet worth of damage. Instantly punished for it.
Mephi was a big player, a big power piece of the puzzle that Sandbox were able to put against DPLUS Gear in previous rounds. They need to try and get their teeth in. Demic and Good Boy as well, 2 guns that you want to pop in and start popping off against
Attackers recovered the
the
defuse.
approach here. Good Boy, the space around him, even with the Kiba barricades, is getting a little bit slimmer as time goes on. At least rebuild some of it, but it sort of just feels like it's only a moment before suddenly he'll be struck. You can see huge rotations coming out from DPLUS Kia. They're playing with their time, sure, but they're making sure that the drive of it is good.
The thing is, like, it's very difficult to remove Good Boy now. So what you see them doing is just holding angles on where he might be able to pop up, because they don't really have utility to clear out these Kibos. They have a Selma left. Not sure if they want to use that one. Have 2 S charges. The other players in a position where they can actually use them. Instead, Arakaze's gonna go aggressive and loses his life as a result. That opens up so many opportunities now as the Syria laser gate gets wasted. All they need to do now is make sure that there's actually an opportunity to go for a plant as Good Boy rotates back towards the site to make sure there is going to be security. And now, all that Kiba barrier set up upstairs basically rendered useless.
Well, there's the swing round. They're able to get the down, but there was the cover they didn't expect. Almost huge. It will buy them at least 15 seconds on the pickup. They're concerned about the follow through. There'll be the audio, but Good Boy's going to do his own little swing round and gets the body on the back end. Punishes them, and Nova hits across the bow. The double window becomes a bit of a blow. Yes, didn't go in at the right time and took most of the damage from the spray through. Good Boy is a sliver away, but it's a 2 versus technical 2 right now with a player down in the middle of the site and only 15 seconds. They've got to see if they can try and force this engagement. The living drone is giving them some read. Woogieman, he's going wide and gets the end. Knew the breach was there, but they got to make the plant. Nova, he gets that kick cold and rotates his way up to the top. Oh, he has potentially played this perfectly. Woogieman's going to sit in the middle of the site. Go for the plant itself. Nova doesn't know. The air jab buys them precious time. The second buys them even more. Woogieman had his own cover, has all the cool that he needs in this 1 versus 1. He waits. As the free cam comes in, it's a little bit claustrophobic, but they've rotated around the back. The outline of the gun is the fight. It's scrappy. It's over the shoulder. It's hard with the DMR, and Woogieman pushes DPLUS Kia 1 round away from Atlanta Stage 2, 1 round away from first place, 1 round away from SI. And we are having a tack timeout.
If not now, then when? They were almost able to bite themselves back into it, but DK were in the driver's seat for the majority of that round. And if it wasn't for, like, Good Boy, for example, with his huge performance there, able to still, you know, waste a lot of time, but also get some kills, that would have been just a run-over round. And DK, 4 opportunities to lock in everything you've previously said. 6th Invitational, 2nd stage of Atlanta Major, and the 1st place in Korea. From what is most likely most prestigious to least prestigious, I guess. And it would be the 2nd team to qualify, Emmy. That's an achievement on its own.
It is a lot now running on this round, but they're not the team that I've been worried about at this sort of point in the game. They're the team that throughout this entire series has been able to just take and take and take, even when everything has been a bit against them. Sandbox, they've scuttled and scarfed their way through. Both previous 2 maps, they've been up, and this one going away from them, I think, will make the fact that they were 5-3 up on the first map even more painful. But they've got to play the hand that's in front of them here. Taking their time out, they're taking their stretch. The blitz, the ram.
5 seconds left.
Let's see what they bring.
See a tactical ram again, where it's just distracting and then the site getting taken. That's how this game started off. It's the rush from Sandbox on the back of like a ram. We were like, what's that?
The
ram?
hucked ram under a window.
It's like, what's that doing? And then suddenly the site just fell into the pockets of Sandbox. Now the Twitch drone here's trying to get some utility. Spotted out the bulletproof. Yes, also knows, like, if you drive in, that might get EMP'd and then lose the opportunity to use that Twitch drone any further. So instead, trying to find a different angle, actually take care of the bulletproof camera, which is going to be a very important piece of utility now removed. And still having your Twitch drone available to fight and find even more. There's yokai drones on the board that you still need to find. There's electroclaws that could be problematic as well. The longer the Twitch drone stays live, the more likely DK will be successful here.
And it's something I haven't massively talked about so much, but the drone push game here from DPLUS Gear has been great throughout the whole series. The use of the Twitch drone has pretty much consistently got at least 4 or 5, I combined there, different pieces of kit removed without being taken. We've seen a Brava drone steal an Echo drone, which when that happens, you're really sort of, you know, in a tricky place. One pops in, the C4 was the cost. As the follow-up comes through, Nova wanted like the head of Harper, but tricky shot for me.
I'm sure if they have an actual breach, no, so they just have a line of sight now. So that C4 did definitely do a good job at making sure that that wall is staying relatively closed. Boogeyman find himself a way in, but frostmats are a thing, and right underneath that window as well. That keep it barrier might have just set. But Rams just driving over undestructible
Making
floor.
noise.
They're making noise, definitely distracted as well. As Yas walks in, finds a kill onto Demic, turns around as Mephi sees the blitz coming, but he panics and he gets taken down.
Wiggly Woogie Man. Play that blitz and dance like we're in year 1, season 1. Now Arakaze stuck a bit up top. He's alone. Nova is on the far side by the partially breached wall. Arakaze with a shotgun could get the snap, but if he swings and sees a shield first, he turns away from the first fight. The blitz is going down. It gets Arakaze a second too late. 30 seconds, 4 versus 2. To keep them in the fight, Sandbox. Good boy and Nova to give them a chance at stage 2. Yes, he gets caught from an angle he's not quite sure about.
15 seconds left.
It's actually near games. Nova. Soldier dies as well, but
Oh!
it is go. What? What? Where did you come from, Coda? He's suddenly on top, finding the final kill. That ended like very, very quickly out there. Did not expect that to go that quick.
Well, I mean, you can see it on their faces out of nowhere. It was suddenly feeling like the round was peeling away from them, and then dropped the hatch. They knew where the engagements they wanted were. They knew where the fight was that they wanted to sort of bring themselves